Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Shemel Shai. Bahashem Rakak Radash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to my fellow laborers, my Akim that are out there doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, to the confusion of faith, Akim that are joined unto our ranks, to the hopefully elect and the Akwaf that are listening and learning to you, I say Shalom. It's your brother Malcolm. I'm from GMS Chicago. Coming at you with another lesson of truth. Woke up early. Spirit was on me. Couldn't sleep, and just started watching videos on the internet, trying to find a topic. Because I didn't wake up with a topic with something specifically on my mind. Just was heavy in the spirit, and I came across this video from the brother Sakari, or from the what's his name, Eleazar. We know what Sakari calls himself, or he's the head of the Sakari. So, but I normally don't really vibe with Sakari like that because of his antics and many of the things that he's done. But this was a great work that he did right here, because it's just simply the truth. It's just simply the truth and how they're putting it in your face. And it's already been it's a scene from a movie I believe called Power, and I think 50 Cent produces this show or something. And this scene right here is Kendrick Lamar is playing a flacka, person that's hooked on flacka, not a crackhead, but very similar, same for lack of a better word, same shit, different toilet. But this was like his acting debut, and from the short scene that I seen, it looked like he did a pretty good job. But basically, here he is telling some Northern Kingdom brothers that they the same people. In so many words, that's what he's saying. Because he mentioned a couple things that only an Israelite, someone who's been learned in the truth, would say. Basically saying that they're the same people. They want us to think we're different races, but we're not. He said something to the fact that this Babylon language got us messed up. Meaning they got us speaking different languages, but we're the same people. That our struggle is the same, and that we're the same. We have the same enemies, we're in the same fight, whether we realize it or not. And Esau is aware of that, and the coming together of both the northern and the southern kingdom is horrifying to Esau, because I've noticed that the increase of trolls and things of that nature on my channel alone, it's like it's a whole different new group of scoffers, because the whole proving that the so-called white man is Esau it's been overkill on that. That's been done. All right. That's damage. There's no such thing as damage control on that. So they try to attack and cause confusion in other ways. But I'm just gonna read some scriptures. This isn't gonna be a long video, but I'm just gonna read some scriptures that pretty much solidify what Eleazar was saying in this video. When he did this video based upon the scene from this show. Okay, and indeed, Latinos, Negroes, and so-called Native Americans are indeed the biblical Israelites. All right, not just the black people, because that's another ploy of Esau Edom. But here's Jeremiah 50 and 33, and it reads, "Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refuse to let them go," and they're not letting them go, the ones that are here, because they kept them captives in many ways, both physically and mentally, and now they have you captive through your birth certificates and your Social Security, and this is also why they want you to get proper citizenship, so that they can put you in their system and tax you, man. You know, you got a lot of people that complain they're taking our jobs and blah 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 blah. Hey, your government wants these people here to do all the jobs that you other people, especially you heathens, think that you're too good to do. All right, because that's how a lot of you think and feel. You're too good to do a lot of these jobs, so you bring in these desperate, people coming from, our people coming from south of the border that can barely speak English or no English at all to do these jobs for pennies on the dollar that you would have to pay a spoiled American, whether it be our people or not, more money to do. So the faster you can get them in here and get them locked into your system, the better off you are. And so basically, you Edomites here in America, the problem is not with them coming in. The problem is with your own people at the top, who's created this pyramid type scheme that has you perpetually stuck on the bottom with the people that you hate, and then make you believe that it's the people you hate that put you in this situation, man. But no, your own brethren put you in there. The elite Edomites sold you low-level Edomites out, man. Period. They sold you out. All right, and I'm gonna go into Deuteronomy now. This is and just read a couple of the curses that befell the natives as it did the so-called Negroes. Okay, this is Deuteronomy 28 and 64, a chapter which they wish they could get rid of. All right, but it said that matter of fact, I'm gonna read 44 through 46 first. All right, because that pretty much covers all the tribes. And it says, and he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. And he shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. All right, we're perpetually on the bottom in every society that we in, especially here in Babylon. Just because you have the NBA and the NFL and all the sports teams, for the most parts, are predominantly Negro and Latino. All right, the bulk of our people are not in that position. Okay, it says, verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and shall overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So the Lord put you in certain conditions so that you can easily identify who the Israelites are. Because when's the last time some Negroes lent some money to some Jewish people? When was the last time you saw a bunch of Native Americans lend some money to some Jewish people? No. We have to go to them and want in need of all things. All right? If you need some jewelry, you got to go to the jury district, which is predominantly owned by the Jewish, who are also Edomites. And the banks, We're on the bottom. We don't have a military. We have none of that. Okay? So that curse came true, and not just upon the Negroes. All right? Was listening to a talk show on a Jake coming up from Honduras, and listening to his struggle, what he was going through. He's been through the same thing the Negroes went through, if not worse. All right? And he was actually a police officer in his country, but he had to flee there because of violence. All right? And his ex-wife, during the wickedness of these women, the man's ex-wife hooks up with a gangbanger, 18th Street gang dude. And so now they're threatening his life and threatening his daughter, threatening to rape his daughter into the gang. So I guess that's how they get in. They got to get gangbanged. And so he came to America, paid a coyote, and did all that stuff, and then he ended up crossing a river and got arrested while they were soaking wet. And they told the story how he was soaking wet, getting processed overnight, and they had them in a cold, air-conditioned thing, him and his daughter. So he said, he huddled up with his daughter, trying to keep her warm. All right, they've been wet all night in wet clothes. It's going to show you the cruelties of Esau, man. All right. And they came to take his daughter in the morning and say, oh, we're going to give her some fresh clothes. So being a father, he was like, okay, because he asked him, what you doing, man? Are you trying to take my daughter? And he said, oh, we got to give her some dry, clean clothes. So he agreed to that because, his daughter was cold. They were cold, especially after being cold all night and wet. you know, sitting in an air-conditioned room, locked up. So he was like, you know, like wanting his daughter to be warm, and they take his daughter. The next thing you know, he separated his daughter for months, man. All right? And there's other curses that talks about how they're going to take your children from you, and you're going to be powerless, man. When's the last time a bunch of Negroes, Latinos took a bunch of Edomite children, a bunch of little so-called white kids from their parents, and it was all legal, and kept them separated from them for months at a time? See, that's when you start looking at checks and balances of who fits the curses and who doesn't, man. Deuteronomy 28:64. And Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even to the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, of wood, even of wood and stone. So what else happened when you were scattered into those places around the four corners of the earth? You also began to intermingle. And since there's no such thing as mixing a mixed child, all right, whatever children came from Israelite seed that was scattered, all right, any of the male lineages that survived through that are still Israelites, regardless of what they look like. So the hypocrisy and the ignorance of someone saying that you can only be a Negro if you're an Israelite is just beyond stupid. For those of you out there who want to cleave to that carnality, which is totally not spiritual at all. All right, that's what Paul's whole mission was, to bring back the scattered ones, and a lot of them no longer look the way that they looked. All right, because if your father dumped seed in a woman who's a heathen, and you come out looking like your mom and not your father, you're still the seed of an Israelite man, which makes you an Israelite. And the Bible makes that very clear over and over again. The seed of your father, the seed of your father, the seed of your father. Okay? Did the Lord not want us to mix with the heathen? Well, that's what it says in many places. But the Bible is also the Lord's, his script. And guess what? We ended up mixing with the heathen. And Yahweh had control over all of that. And that was done basically to get rid of you damn 2/3, man. To protect us as well. Because he mixed us among the heathen to shield us off. Because Esau was really trying to exterminate us, man. All right? He really did. And I truly believe that is the reason why they're trying to fool people with all this DNA stuff, because they're trying to get as much DNA as they can, because what Esau's trying to do is trying to figure out who the confusion of face is, man. That's just something that, that would be the only thing in this video, which is my own thought, speaking as a man. Everything else is straight scriptural. But I truly believe that Esau is, so big in this DNA stuff because he's trying to figure out who the confusion of face is. There would be no other purpose for it, except, to cause confusion. Deuteronomy 28:66. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and thou shalt have no assurance of thy life. And you watch both so-called black and brown people get shot down by police. If you go search, you could probably find 1,000 videos just over the last couple years. Okay? Of both brown and so-called black being shot down, by police on tape, on video, or by Edomite citizens, and they still get to walk away. Your life hangs in the balance, man. You get pulled over for a parking ticket and you end up crippled, or you end up dead because you got shot up. All right? Same thing that happens to us doesn't happen to them. Okay? This is Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way I spoke unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondwomen and bondmen, and no one shall buy you, no one shall redeem you. No man shall redeem you. Hence why all your leaders failed. All right? Martin, Malcolm, Marcus Garvey, you know, Farrakhan, and many, many others, man. Jesse Jackson, Reverend Al Sharpton, Russell Means, you know, Cochise, Sitting Bull, Geronimo. They all failed, man. They could only fight against Esau for so long. They all fell under the same curses. All right? When it says it's going to bring you into Egypt again, that clearly means slavery. The word Egypt is synonymous with the word slavery once you break it all the way down. Okay? And the it you should never see again was the land of Israel. And we were sold to our enemies. And then they have the record of that sales transaction in Joel. All right? When it talks to them Africans and those Arabs were selling Israelites. And the so-called white man loves a lie and put on shows will say, well, black people are selling black people. First of all, there's no such thing as black people. All right? And Africans, Hamites, a different dark race, were selling Israelites, another dark race. That tidbit of the story they leave out. All praises, glory, and honor be unto Yahweh, B'Hashem, Abishai, B'Hashem, Rakakadash, Wa Abba Babal.